actually going to weigh in my 2 cents on everything that's going on. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, I don't give a shit. So, while I'm here and I run the office, the main office, my days off, I have time, and I'm looking up all this Cornelia shit. I don't want to say the other word, but I've been looking up on all this stuff, and in the research I've done, if you guys look up the documentation for this and you've read what I've read, this is all a scamdemic or a planned demic. Mr. Fauci, and I'm going to let y'all know right now, y'all know that I'm a Trump guy, but I'm not. Right now, I'm not anybody's guy. I'm me, and I'm looking out for me. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Something's going on, and it's not right. Whether it has to do with Trump or Biden or the Democrats, or I don't give a flying fuck who it has to deal with. Right now, I'm taking care of me, and with everything going on, I don't trust any of them. So Fauci, this little guy, in 2015, he gave $2.7 million to that the place in Wuhan, the whatever you want to call it, the little factory that was making all these chemicals and shit. $2.7 million. If you don't believe me, look it up. All this research I've done, I have been just, they're blowing this way out of proportion. So after he gave the $2.7 million in 2017, Fauci came out in a press release on video saying, and I quote, "This president will come across a pandemic that has never been seen before." In 2017, he said this. Now, how in the hell would he know that 3 years in advance before it happens? You have to keep an open mind with this. A lot of people, I'm not saying that this crap doesn't exist. It does. But a lot of you may not know that the COVID has been around since 1964. This is just a different strand. It may be a little worse and a little more catchy than the regular flu is, but it's not as bad as the flu. They've come out. I mean, if you want to look up something, look up White House hot mic and look it up on YouTube and listen to what's saying. It's unbelievable. Some of the shit that's being said is just going to fucking blow your mind. I don't believe in it. I have not wore a mask since day one. I know this is going to piss a couple people off, but I don't. I have been running around here since all this shit started. I've not wore a mask. I've not gotten sick. Nothing has happened to me. I am perfectly fine. Now, by the time I say that, something's going to happen, and then guess what? Oh well, shit happens. But the way I look at it, when my time's up, God's going to come and get me. There's nothing you, me, or anybody else in this world can do about it. When God says that my number has been called, I'm going, whether I like it or not. None of us are getting off of this rock alive. That's all there is to it. We're all on this rock, but none of us are getting off alive. Think about it. It's the truth. So everything that I've been reading has been bullshit. It's all false. The numbers are false. Another document that I had read is coming out, and this came from the CDC and I think it was just the CDC, I'm not sure, but it could have been one of the other medical places. It's one of the higher ends that are saying that even if people are not dying from COVID or Cornelia, even if people are not dying from this, they're marking it down as people have deaths. So in other words, I read an article, or I read a Facebook page that was sent to me by a friend of mine, that this guy's mother had fallen, hit her head, a corner of her head on a coffee table. It caused an aneurysm and it killed her. They took her to the hospital and they said that she died of the Cornelia virus. I just don't know how that is possible. He was freaking furious. I've had people ask me if my mother that just passed away passed Cornelia virus. No, she did not. She was ready to go home and she stopped eating. And they're also saying that even if they're not testing positive for this shit, which they don't even have an accurate test for it yet. They're saying the tests are 80% incorrect. So they can't even get a positive test out of this shit. Like I said, you don't believe me, you guys do your own research. I've been doing research, I've got a fucking headache from it, and I'm tired of being on fucking lockdown, and I'm not doing it. I'm walking around here, I'm going into town, I'm going out in the desert, I'm riding my quad, I'm doing whatever I want, and no one has stopped me, no one has said shit, and I ain't doing it. I'm not conforming to them, to the government and what the government says. Oh, well, you need to do this. Fuck that. I'm not going to do it. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. And if you guys are going to be gullible and sheeple and wear your little mask and go into the store and freak out when someone comes up next to you, and you guys, I know I'm going to get hate for this. I know I will get hate for this. I went into Walmart the other day, hell, and people were all wearing their mask, and I'm like, you should see the people fucking freak out. Those are the people you need to be scared of. Because they're wanting to give you that freaking, I don't know if anybody's heard of this, but it's, what is it? It's called 201 something, and I forgot the name of it. But they also want to do ID 2020. Those of you who are not familiar with ID 2020, they want to put a microchip in the back of your right hand. Ain't nobody getting near me with no fucking needle to put no microchip inside me. And now they have shut down 3 of the major meat factories from Smithfield. And then just yesterday, it was yesterday or the day before, Tyson closed their factory down. Tyson Chicken, they closed their factory down. There's going to be food shortages, and they're talking probably, what was it? I think it's 125 million people are going to starve because of this. This is a scandemic, or it's a planned demic to kill people off. I'm telling you guys right now, you guys can tell me I'm a fucking conspiracy theorist, you can tell me I'm fucking crazy, you can tell me I'm nuts, you can tell me whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I've read the documentation. I've been doing research on this shit. And I'm telling you right now, I'm more scared of the government than I am of anything else. You know, I don't like Republicans and I don't like Democrats, and I've been very straightforward, and right now I don't like Trump. I don't know what his deal is, but I don't know if they've got something on him or what's happening. But it's all fucking bullshit. I know he wants to open up, he wants to get America back open, and he's trying to do that. And I don't know why he's being stopped. But supposedly it has to, the federal government cannot shut down this from state to state. Only the states can shut it down. He can try to talk to them to get them to open back up. I don't know what's going on. I think the Democrats have a big hand in it. I think there's some Republicans that have their hands in it, and they're not allowing it. But there's going to be food shortages, and people are going to freaking die. I know you probably, like I said, I don't care if you believe me or not, but those of you who are sheeple and you want to wear your little mask and think it is. Now, I agree in one thing. If you're in New York or Chicago or Atlanta, where there are millions of people, and they're stacked on top of one another, I could see wearing a mask there. I'm in the middle of fucking BFE. We're around everybody here. We have not had one case in this town. In the county, we have had 5 cases here, 1 death. The death wasn't even a resident that has lived here. They were from somewhere else. I don't know where it was. But they've all been in either Parker or Lake Havasu. Not one case has been brought out here in Quartzsite. So, if you guys are going to panic over this shit and wear masks all the time, and I'm not saying not to wear masks, I'm saying if that's what you feel comfortable with, but I'm not conforming to what the government wants. I'm not doing it. You guys know me. I'm a unique individual, and I do what I want to do, and I'm not going to have anybody tell me I can't do something. If that means they're going to throw my ass in jail, then fuck them. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let somebody put a needle in my hand. Excuse me, a needle in my hand and put a fucking ID chip in me. I'm not doing it. I don't care. I'd rather starve first. I know a lot of you aren't. I know there's a lot of people that aren't Christian. There's a lot of people that are Christian. But my Christian beliefs believe that's a sign of the beast. Whether you believe me or not, that's for you to decide. But I refuse to have anything put inside my body, no matter what. You know, I've lived a happy life. I'm 50 years old. I'm halfway through my life. Probably a little more than halfway through my life. And that's fine. And when my time comes, I'm going to go happily. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not. When I was a kid, I was so scared of dying. I'd literally lay awake at night going, God, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die. And I've never told anybody that. So, and I'm here I am telling it on a video. I've gotten to the point where I'm square with God. I'm square with my faith. And I'm fucking happy with my Christianity. No, I'm not perfect. Yes, I still cuss a lot. And no, I don't give a fuck. But I know that I'm a good person. The things that I've done in my life, I try to help people out that I can. And I do the best that I can when I try to help people out. I don't try to screw people over. Just for an example, do you remember when I came out with the video? And I said I was never going to mention this shit again, but when Randy had came over there, when we were camped out in La Posa South, me, Kat, and Dakota, and there was a guy that was camped over by us, and Randy went over and saw him. Well, would you like to know that Randy screwed that guy over, plus his buddy, plus his other buddy? So there's 3 guys. I got to meet 2 of them last night. Fucking beautiful guys. I mean, I love these guys to death. They are freaking cool. Steve is one of the guys. And I can't remember the other guy's name because I'm not good with names. I remember Steve. Me and Steve got to talk for a good while. And I'm telling you right now, I wish I would have went over and talked to him because they didn't know Randy at that time. They didn't know Randy was going to screw them over. And Randy ended up screwing them over very, very bad. So I got to meet these guys last night, and now I'm friends with them. And they love me to death. They think I'm a cool guy, and I'm very laid back, easygoing. Steve had even told me he watched my original video, you know, The Mobile Gambler, and he laughed his ass off, and he watched it multiple times. And he was like, man, I can get along with this guy. That's what you guys don't understand. I'm very easygoing. What you see in these videos is actually what you see in person. I'm not some fucking deranged lunatic that's going to be one way on video and then be another way off video like a lot of these people are out here. What you see is what you get. And yes, lately here I haven't had any videos out, and I'm not going to give excuses why I haven't had any video out, but y'all know that my mom passed away and that I'm busy running the office here. And I just don't have any content to put out at this moment. But this I had to put out because I'm getting so sick of this shutdown shit. And how many people... It's going to turn into... Fucking people are going to be breaking into stores and they're going to start stealing food. They're going to start breaking into people's houses and stealing what they have. And that's what it's going to turn out to be. We're going to have another... And I call it a revolutionary war. I don't call it a civil war because we're trying to break away from tyranny, which is exactly what the Revolutionary War was about. We were trying to break away from the tyranny of Britain. So the Civil War was pretty much just about money. Those of you who don't know, look up the Civil War, because a lot of people said, oh, it's about slavery. No. It had nothing to do with slavery whatsoever. They turned it into that. Those of you who don't know, Abraham Lincoln had 9 slaves and didn't want to give them up after the war. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but he did. So, anyway, I still see a revolutionary war coming. I hope you guys are prepared for it, and I hope you guys are on the right side. And if you're a sheep or a sheeple, and you want to believe what the government says, and you want to wear these masks all the time, and you want to do the social distancing thing, you stay the fuck away from me. Because I don't want nothing to do with you, and I could fucking care less of your thoughts on this. Because everything that I've read, they are fucking blistering these numbers, and they're taking people who have died of natural causes, or heart attacks, or COPD, and everything like that, and they're insinuating and saying that they are dying from COVID. They are taking these numbers, and they're they're extremely abusing this. If you guys pay attention, the flu deaths, the pneumonia deaths, and all that shit have all dropped. And if you look it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. All these deaths that happen every year due to like influenza or pneumonia or anything like that, heart attacks and shit, all that stuff is down, and they're putting it under the Cornelia virus deaths. I'm appalled when I see all this information, and when I read the documentation in front of me. How can you can't dispute it when it's written by our own fucking government, the CDC, the WHO, the World Health Organization, which is WHO, or whatever you want to call them. All these people are extruding these numbers, and they're pulling them out of their ass, and they're making this thing a lot worse than what it is. That's my rant. This is the video, and I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. If you agree with me, I want to hear it. If you disagree with me, I want to hear it. But do it in a right way. Don't be like, oh, you're a fucking retard and you don't know what you're talking about. You tell me what documents you have read that tell me that I'm nuts. Because I'm telling you right now, everything that I have read, I have gotten on my fucking tablet. And everything that I have read on this tablet, when I look up the .gov sites, and some of the videos I look up, they'll put it in the pin or in the description below, and they will put all these links to the documents, and I will go read these things. And I'm telling you what, this is a scamdemic and a planned-demic, and Fauci is ahead of it, because I think Fauci is one of the elites. That's my personal opinion. So anyway, this has gone on for like 18 minutes and 5 seconds, so I'm going to edit this and just put the intro and the outro into it, and I'm going to post it today. What is today? I think today is the 27th. Hold on. Let me turn my other phone on. I have my old phone that blew apart, the one that the battery blew apart. It still works, but let me see if it shows me what the date is. I know today's Tuesday. That I do know. Hello, Moto. So give me just a second and I will give you the date, if it turns on. Today is Tuesday, April 28th. And it is 11:56 a.m. So I will get this and I will load this up. So, be kind to one another, love one another, and live life to the fullest. And when I mean live life to the fullest, I mean it, because we don't know how much more time we have. This is crazy. I am so sick of this lockdown bullshit, and food is starting to get scarce. I don't know where you're at, and I want to hear from your area. This is another thing I wanted to bring up. When I bought eggs here in town, I bought them at Dollar General, and they were $1.25. I think $1.25 or $1.50 for a dozen eggs. Eggs have went up to $4.99 for a dozen eggs. Milk has went from $2.50 up to $3.50 a gallon. But gas has gone down. Gas now here is only $2.05. But I've been hearing rumors, and I don't know, and don't quote me on this because I don't know how true this is, but I've been hearing through the grapevine and some sources that I have that food prices are going to skyrocket, and there's going to be very limited. And there's also a store here in town. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's somebody that I know very well that works at one of these grocery stores here in town that's saying they are limiting the number of items they can buy. So they're limiting the number of like canned foods they can get. They're limiting the number of loaves of bread they can bring in. They're limiting everything. So they're not allowed to stock the shelves. They're allowed to order 5 of this or 10 of that or whatever. They're not allowing them to fill their shelves back up and have extra stock. I don't know if that has to do with the shortages all around the United States, but I don't know if there's any other stores that are like that. I don't know if the prices where you're at have escalated or went up or went down. If they have, please leave it in the comments below. Let me know what state you're in. You don't have to say what city, but if you want to say what city you're in, that's fine too. But I want to hear, if you guys are noticing the same things. I know I hear gas prices in the Midwest are going down almost down to a fucking dollar, $1 a gallon. Like I said, here it's $2.05, and just not even a month and a half ago it was $2.65. So yeah, and the gas prices keep dropping. Up in Parker right now, they're $1. I think it's $1.79 a gallon. When was the last time you seen gas prices that low? It's been fucking years since I've seen gas prices that low. So, let me know what the gas prices are. Let me know what food prices are in your area and shit like that. I want to know. I'm eager to find out from around the country what prices are. And if you're watching from overseas, I want to know what your prices are over there too. I don't know if I'll be able to tell like yen, but if you can tell me in American dollars about approximately what it is, I'd like to hear that. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this. I know this was kind of a random video, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, and I want your honest opinion. If you think it's real and you're scared to death, I want to know. But do it in a polite way. If you think this is all a scam, I want to hear your reasonings why. And if you have documentations, put a link in your comment so I can go look at it and see what else. I'm learning shit every day about this Cornelia bullshit, and the more I read about it, the more pissed I get, because all this shutdown shit is bullshit. And one more thing, if you're in California, I heard, and a bunch of us here have heard from multiple sources, that if you go into California and you go into a store, you have to have a mask on, or they're going to give you a $500 to $1,000 fine. If you live in California, comment below and let us know if that is the truth. I want to know that, so that way I can let these guys know. We've been hearing that now for the last 2 weeks from, we had one couple from California that just came out that said that they were not allowing people into the stores without masks, and if you came into a store without masks, they were calling the police, and then you would get a fine for not having one. So I want to know from other people if this is true. So God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day. And like I said, I've been real busy. I'm still dealing with my mom's death, and I've been running the office, and it's been hectic. And I don't want to put out just some fucking random bullshit, even though this is some random bullshit. But this is what the big topic is that's going around right now, and I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on it. So I want to hear from you guys. You guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself, and like I said, God bless each and every one of you, and I will catch you later.
So put your drinks up for the weekend, 'cause them work days sure been creeping. What's up? Is anybody gonna get tore